Hello, welcome to another edition of Chris Speaks. I'm your host, Chris Thompson. The headlines for today's video are Trump has the Trump administration. Well, actually, it's because of the Trump administration, but it's through the Pentagon. The Pentagon is going to use hundreds of lawyers, of military lawyers as oh come on brain um, immigration lawyers. So they're going to use them as immigration lawyers, okay? And then also in the news, the Trump administration, um, the Trump administration had sent the military to the Caribbean, and they shot a boat. They blew up a boat that from Venezuela, off the coast of Venezuela. It was actually in international waters that supposedly it was drug smugglers, but they can't prove that and whatnot. So, okay, let's get into it. So the first thing is the using the lawyers that they're only going to train 3 weeks to be judges and training them for immigration laws. And so they're going to do that. Well, let's see what the problem with that, besides the lack of training and the lack of knowledge in immigration matters, is that you're using military for um, what the for basically law enforcement. That's part of it. Obviously, they're not the police. I might be wrong on what I'm calling it, but it has to do with law. And the Posse Comitatus Act not only prevents soldiers in the streets like they're doing, and that's why they're not being able to police that they're just like taking out trash and raking and shit like that. So you're also, so they're doing the same thing, and now they're going to use military lawyers. Well, that pretty much to, to me, that pretty much equates to a military tribunal. And so, yeah, they're using it for immigration now, but they're going to use it against us next. And they're saying, no, 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 no. No, but you've been saying we were full of shit. The right wing has said we're full of crap the whole time. And we've been right. We've been right so far. We've been right. They're putting soldiers in the streets. We were right when we knew they weren't going to only go after criminals. We knew that they we knew we were right when we said they'd go after American citizens and legal residents. We and legal immigrants, because to be a legal resident you have to have a green card, and they have, and and they have been going after people just because of the color of their skin. And so now we're going into a thing that we're starting to use the military not only to police our cities, um, in attempt to police our cities, but we're also using them for judges for courts. This is highly illegal. It's highly illegal. And I just, as a veteran, and this is the thing, okay, I left the Army, and years and years ago, decades ago, I had a bad experience, and I left the Army behind me, and I didn't think about it, tried not to think about it. I never thought of myself as a veteran. I never even saw myself as much of a patriot, but I take my oath, the oath that I take it very seriously. I took an oath to uphold the Constitution and protect it from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And the Trump administration is a domestic enemy to the Constitution. Okay, and what else is he doing? So let's now go to the next thing. So first of all, they have no business having military except for the Coast Guard to be sent to Venezuela, and supposedly it's to fight off narco terrorists. Which, what the fuck is that? Okay, so they're trying to label this gang. They're trying to label drug smugglers as terrorists, and they blew up this boat and said it was drug smugglers. Well, first of all, under our own law, the military can't blow up people for being drug dealers, drug smugglers. In their international law, they can't do extrajudicial, extrajudicial. That's hard to say. Killings of people who even drug smugglers without finding out for sure that they're even guilty, and they offer no proof. The Trump administration offers no proof, and they're sidestepping every time they're asked by what authority did they do this under, and they will never answer. They sidestep and say, well, the drugs, blah blah blah, they're killing people with drugs. That's not the authority. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait till these assholes are being tried for treason. And you can't do that. And what you know what's going to happen? Okay, Trump's already screwed up our economy with a bunch of shit that he's doing, like the tariffs and the mass deportations. He's screwing it up by spending too much money on it, and the fact that it's going to tear apart our infrastructure. He's screwing up all the laws. He's taking power, and the Supreme Court and Congress and the Senate are responsible. They're letting him do it. They're going along with it. And this is wrong. This is totally wrong. You can't just do whatever you want. And what's going to happen is we're going to get sanctions put on us by other countries. And that's going to really screw things up. This is not he doesn't know what he's doing. He does not know what he's doing. He's a moron. He's a moron, and he's dangerous. And he should be removed from the presidency because he's incompetent. He is not able. Problem is, whatever the amendment is, it's like the 24th Amendment or something. One of those amendments, I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But anyways, there's an amendment that allows them to remove the president, but Congress has to vote to do it. So that's not happening anytime soon. But I mean, this is just crazy. He's just doing whatever he wants, regardless of U.S. law, regardless of the Constitution, regardless of international law. And do you really think it's about drugs? I guarantee you, we send troops there to overthrow the government of Venezuela, which, okay, is the guy a dictator? Probably. But are we going to put in somebody? We're going to put in a dictator, probably. Who's worse? Who will let us get cheap oil? They'll stop. They'll what they have it. It's stick with me. I'm trying to remember what I'm trying to think. So basically, they've nationalized the oil there, right? So they're going to unnationalize it. So the and let oil companies take over, and America gets oil for real cheap. That's what it's about. It's about regime change, and they're talking about going to other. No, this is whatever happened. I thought he was the president of peace. So far, the president of peace has attacked Iran, and now is basically committing acts of war against the people of Venezuela. They can't even tell you by what authority they're doing, and they refuse to give us any evidence because there is no evidence. I just don't know what we're going to do. These people in the government are crazy. We've got some moron who doesn't have any medical expertise, no medical training, like who's giving advice, not even just advice. He's in charge of policy of health. He's telling people that they don't need to vaccinate. He's telling people that vaccinations make us unhealthy. This is ridiculous. I have a little bit of medical training. I was a 91 Bravo field medic. I didn't have much experience doing that because I wasn't in very long. I did graduate from boot camp and from AIT, so I had my training, and I was stationed in Panama. So what was my point? My point is, I have more medical training than this guy, and even if I didn't, I would know he's full of crap. I'd know that vaccines are actually good. They haven't proven, no one's proven that vaccines do anything. Yes, there are side effects sometimes. Yes, people do have bad reactions, but we don't get rid of vaccinations. I mean, and why are we taking? I didn't. This is a thing I went off on a tangent here. Well, I'm kind of done with the other one. So this wasn't in the headlines, but so we got this idiot, and God, he's a Kennedy. His whole family's probably like so embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed. And who are you going to take advice from? Are you going to take advice from a guy who talks like he has a tracheotomy? I mean, that's what he sounds like. This is what Kennedy sounds like. I'm Robert Kennedy Jr. I mean, seriously, have you heard this guy talk? Vaccines are bad. Doctors are bad. People who don't know shit about medicine, good. And I'm gonna tell you that you're lying about what I'm saying. I mean, literally, that's what the dude sounds like. I mean, everybody that Trump has appointed to the his cabinet are completely unqualified, are incompetent, and in some cases, like Pete Hegseth and what's the other guy, the bald guy that's like total neo-Nazi. I can't remember his name, but those guys are like neo-Nazis. They espouse neo-Nazi ideologies, and so we're basically letting Nazis take over the country. Dude, Stephen Miller is literally a fucking neo-Nazi. Everything is white people are good, everybody else is bad. I'm an idiot, and I look like a walking penis. Yes, he does. He does. I'm sorry. He looks like a walking penis. Stephen Miller looks like a walking dick. And he's stupid. And this is incompetent. I mean, this is crazy. It's like, why did people say they're like, okay, it's either by the guy that almost fucked up our country last time, who screwed up our economy last time, or a woman. So, we'll vote for Trump, and hopefully he won't do the same or worse than he did before. The definition of insanity, well, maybe not maybe not the medical definition, and maybe not, but basically, this is a definition of insanity is doing the same thing twice and thinking you're going to get a different outcome. If you do it once and it backfires, you do it again, it's going to backfire again. The guy acted like a tyrant the first time, and this time he's damn near destroyed the country in less than a year. Well, I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna end this show because I have a tendency to babble and keep going on, and I need to eat something. So, once again, this has been an episode of Chris Speaks. I'm your host, Christopher Thompson. Hang in there, man. Good luck and good night.